far beyond a few thousand years after the contact with the Atlanteans. This particular civilization used that knowledge. They were the less fear-based of the three, and as a result, used that particular knowledge to bring about an expansion of their own awareness of their connection to the environment, to their existence around them. And as a result, therefore, you have today a vast wealth of knowledge going back approximately 8,000 years that brought about this particular awareness. In the Caucasian area, which is what could be best described as European, Northern European, that particular section of what you now perceive as being that part of the world, in effect, use the awareness of the Atlanteans to extend their own particular ideology in regards to certain gods, in regards to certain forces far beyond themselves, and perceived a number of these particular Atlanteans as gods for a great period of time. In fact, wrote of them in their history books from that perspective, and therefore recreated history from that perspective. Now, these particular individuals, as gods, eventually cast off feet of clay, and though their descendants were contained or maintained that particular knowledge, eventually that particular knowledge dissipated to the point that the society itself moved into a position of fear of the perceived as bad versus good, perceived as right versus wrong, and eventually through certain circumstances, through the adjustment of certain individuals in society, the Nazarene being one of them, developed a polarity within themselves between what is perceived as Christianity today and what is perceived as the non-Christianity, the occult, the Druids, the Muslims, societies that developed in different directions. A polarity existed, yet as a civilization, they all moved forward from the same perspective. Now, into the black culture, a number of individuals from Atlantean moved into that particular direction, and they were encountered by these particular primitive societies, primitive cultures, and not integrated, in fact, feared so greatly that they were mostly massacred within the first 30 years after their particular involvement with that particular culture. And as a result, the least amount of interference in the particular world today from the Atlanteans can be viewed in the African culture. Do you see?